nominating committee meeting was held on Wednesday, March 18th. I'm making the following recommendations for the following appointments and reappointments. The Airport Advisory Board, reappoint J.R. Arndt for a second 5-year term. For the Charter Commission, appoint the following to first 4-year terms: Jim Elsing, Jessica Williams, Jason Turner, Jim Mahoney, Sarah Hanga, Mike Wool, Trevor Nickel, and Brian Yamini. To the Housing and Redevelopment Authority, appoint Sharon Mangle to a first 5-year term. The Park and Recreation Advisory Board, reappoint Jason Johnson to a second 2-year term, and appoint Beth Namini and Julie Linder to first 2-year term. And the Planning Commission, appoint Stacy Murphy to a first 3-year term. Public Arts Commission, appoint Mary Lamb to a first 3-year term, and Christy Menke to fill the unexpired term of Blake Lanier. That term expires on November 30th of this year. Traffic and Safety, appoint Phil Benson to a first 3-year term. And the Water and Light Commission, reappoint Deb Wegg to a fourth 3-year term, and reappoint Mike Fury to a first 3-year term. Those are both due to expire on March 31st of 2029. Council action is requested to approve the recommendations for the following appointments and reappointments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Yes, Chris?
You have 8 appointments for the Charter Commission. Could you, just briefly explain what the purpose of the Charter Commission is and why so many appointments at this time?
So the city has a charter. We're a charter city under the statutes of Minnesota. So we have our own charter, which would most closely be described as the city's constitution. So we have a charter commission of 15 members, total of 15 members. Any recommendations to change anything within the charter first go through the charter commission, and then they would make a recommendation to the city council. And I think we anticipate we're going to have a couple of changes, some terms or language changes coming up here in the near future. Charter commission members are approved or appointed by district court. So at this meeting, if all these appointments, and the other ones must be still within their term.
Yeah, they-
The other 7 members are within their term. So that's why this action is taken today. The others' terms have expired, and so we are nominating new people to fill out the charter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Okay, next item is city council consideration and approval of an agreement with Paycom LLC for payroll and human capital management processing system. Finance and administration staff have reviewed the current payroll and human resources management system and processes. The existing system is fully reliant on manual input of timesheets by the employees and the biweekly compensation and benefits by the compensation specialist, Lori Henning. So everything is manually inputted. Our current method is labor intensive and time consuming. Takes our payroll and benefits staff a minimum of 2.5 days each pay period to process and update all of this information. In addition, our current system does not automate a fully integrated human resources and payroll operation. Opportunities to improve the efficiency, accuracy, compliance, and employee self-service capabilities have been identified with Paycom Payroll and their payroll and human capital management system. Paycom is a comprehensive cloud-based payroll and human capital management solution. Paycom offers an integrated platform that includes payroll processing, time and attendance tracking, benefits administration, talent acquisition, onboarding, and employee self-service tools. The advantage that Paycom provides include the following: streamlined payroll processing with reduced manual entry and errors, improved data, enhanced compliance with federal and state regulations, improved data security and reporting capabilities, increased efficiencies through automation and system integration, expanded employee self-service features, reducing administrative workload, provides a platform for employee-only notifications and commonly used documents, including the personnel policy handbook, provides a system to automatically track policy notifications to employees such as paid leave and earned sick and safe time, and ability for employees to retrieve payroll and tax documents. The proposed agreement that is included as Exhibit 2 is for a 3-year term, includes an initial implementation cost of $10,821.87 and an annual estimated fees of $51,609.30. That's based on the number of employees receiving compensation throughout the year. Funding will be through the data processing fund, in which costs are allocated amongst the other funds on a prorated share. It's anticipated that efficiencies gained will offset the administrative cost. Staff recommends that City Council approve the agreement with payroll and with Paycom and authorize mayor and clerk to execute all necessary documents. I have Lori Henning. Lori and I have been involved in this for several months and have had several presentations with Paycom and we've actually been wanting to do this for a number of years. We just finally have found the vendor that meets the needs that we want. We did not research a lot because we had other parties that had already done much of the research. Nobles County is in the process of implementing with Paycom, and the city of Laverne is the one that really did a deep dive and looked at a handful of companies, and their response was that Paycom was the best, and our interaction with them has provided us with all of the tools that we are looking for. And like I said, right now, everyone fills out a manual paper timesheet, gets submitted to Lori, who then manually inputs all of the information, and this is the solution.
Will people clock in and out now?
No, we have that ability, but we do not,
It depends.
It depends.
We can set that if that's what.
That's an option, isn't it?
Mhm. Yep, otherwise supervisors can fill out timesheets or there are a lot of variety. And it can be changed per department, whatever works best for each.
One of the issues with clocking in is you clock in 10 minutes early and 10 minutes late. Now you're dealing with overtime depending on which union or which employee group you're with. And so you're scheduled to work 8 to 5. That's what you would put in your daily time schedule.
Yes.
Does Paycom come and do in-house training for you and the department heads?
Yep, they're gonna be on site a lot. Yeah, they will be here, I think, 2 weeks straight, working with individual employee units.
This will all be accessible either on a computer or your phone.
I highlighted 3 items in here. Enhanced compliance with federal and state guidelines. Improved data security, which is good. And then expanded employee self-service features, which will, I think, be good for the employees. So by going on this system, you think just the savings in time, employee time, will pay for this?
Well, it would pay for at least another position employee, because I can't do it all anymore. Just too much going on. I spent 15 minutes with one employee today on the phone explaining their earnings statement, and they've been here for 3 years and should understand that, but, it's stuff that they can be able to find on their own, on their phone. They'll have access to their leave bank to know how much earned sick and safe time they have left. which it's on their earnings statement now, but they'll have a portal to go to. We can have a frequently requested documents section where they can go and update. They can, part of the app, I think it's called I Want, or was it Betty? Can't remember, there's a couple different options that you can click on it and say, I have a baby, and it'll pull up forms that you need to fill out for your qualifying event to make changes to your benefits. So-
Yeah, there's voice commands on there. You can
Right.
just give a voice command into your phone and it will automatically pull up this section that you're searching for.
They can go in and they can update their W-4 for tax forms. Doesn't have to come through me, they go ahead and do it, whether, if they want extra taxes withheld. It's a lot of time-consuming things, as well as document management. Part of what we want to get to is hiring, be more automated as well, so the application process can go through here. And a candidate, if we decide on them, I put hiring this one and it'll automatically fill in their basic information. Well, you guys would have all been through a short orientation session. All of their pre-employment documents would go directly to them to fill out and return with the due date on them.
We had something similar when I was working, and it'll save you a lot more time.
Exactly. The Nobles County got an estimate, and this was just the HR person. It was gonna save them $700, just the HR, that isn't even the payroll person. So,
Can you, change your direct deposit to it?
yep,
I would highly recommend, even if you can request it through it, that you touch
get
base
notified, yeah,
with them and not via email, via voice or in person on that.
yeah.
Because it doesn't happen a ton, but that's a huge hole where scammers hit.
I, right now, I get probably 2 to 3 emails a week that say they want to change their direct deposit. Todd's a frequent flyer.
But I don't really change it, she
No.
just gets the email
Yeah,
saying I want
you know,
it.
from somebody else, and so, yeah.
Amy, do you have?
I've never changed anything without verbally speaking to someone, so yeah, that's.
I was just gonna confirm that it's a 3-year term, so I'm assuming the estimated fees are set for 3 years, or is there an annual potential
There-
per user increase?
What they're giving us is an estimate, really, of what our
Okay.
costs are going to be, because like right now, I think payroll last week was 141 people. We get charged by the number of people paid each pay period.
Okay.
So right now, it's 141. In a couple of months, we're probably gonna be 165 with summer. When we get to elections, we're gonna have another 30 or so election judges for 2 pay periods. So it fluctuates, but, so we used an estimate of 170, which I think is probably high.
Okay.
So if you have somebody on the payroll for 2 weeks, do you have to pay for that, them, for
Whenever
the
they get
entire
paid.
year?
No, whenever
Okay,
they
just
get
those
paid.
pay periods.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I always assume when I get those emails about changing the bank account, that individual is exceeding their FDIC insured amount.
Oh, yeah, I haven't considered that. Laverne really did all the legwork on this, because they actually use our current system right now, which is Encode. They are also getting off of that. We will continue to use that for our financial package, and this will import into it. But they got burned when they switched to the Encode timekeeping system. Promised and promised and promised, and it's not living up to it. So she wasn't gonna have that again, so she's been very diligent in every scenario that she can think of. She wants proof before they switch. So we feel good that,
We have been throwing a lot of questions at Paycom, and they have been very responsive, answered, and
yeah.
show us within the system how it works.
The other companies, when Laverne went to them and said, okay, can you handle this, this, and this, they ghosted them, didn't even get back to them.
Well,
So,
definitely don't want to go with somebody whose Salesforce won't even respond to you.
exactly,
Have you dealt with their technical support at all?
a lot.
Okay.
That's who I've been dealing with. I just had about a 45-minute call with them and our benefits, our insurance broker today.
And you're happy with them?
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. There's not one thing that I brought up that she hasn't said, yep, we've got this,
Nice.
so.
Get her name and call her directly.
Yeah, we would be assigned a specific,
I was gonna ask her today if it's approved, if she is our person. I'm assuming she would be, but there is another one that does them, so, I don't know.
So you pay on a user basis versus licenses for in the office and versus technical service hours, you don't?
it
Yeah,
per pay check that
Cool.
is processed in a monthly basis. And like Lori said, ours fluctuates depending on the time of year and season. So the estimate of 51,000 a year is based on what we project for the number of paychecks that would be issued throughout a 12-month period. And as you all know, after you hear me complain on a number of times about all of the new regulations that are being imposed on us, that the effort and time that it takes for us to implement them, and Lori's on the front of all of that with everything. I mean, just paid leave, they're estimating that it will add 1.5 FTE to handle paid leave. And we don't have the capability or the ability to hire more staff, so we need to find means of making our staff more efficient.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you. Thanks, Council.
Okay, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My first case item is the Minnesota West Ball Field Maintenance Agreement. The City of Worthington and Minnesota West Worthington campus have proposed maintenance agreement to have, Exhibit 1 in your packet, to have the city public works staff do annual maintenance to the athletic fields located on the Minnesota West Worthington campus. These fields include baseball, softball, and the football practice fields. The maintenance duties that Public Works will be responsible for include mowing, dragging, lining, fertilizing, aeration of the fields, and general cleanup. The proposed fee that Minnesota West will pay the City of Worthington for these services is $16,885.92, a 10% increase over last year's contract amount. City of Worthington Park and Recreation Advisory Board has reviewed the contract and is supportive of its passage. Council action is requested to approve the Minnesota West maintenance contract.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
My next one is a District 518 maintenance agreement. The City of Worthington currently leases from the Worthington School District 518 the middle school baseball complex. The Public Works Department maintains and schedules all activities for these fields. These duties include field maintenance, cleaning and trash removal, and minor maintenance of the facilities. The proposed fee that District 518 will pay the City of Worthington is $13,468, a 10% increase from 2025. A copy of the agreement is Exhibit 2 in your packet, and this agreement has been approved by District 518 and by the Park and Recreation Advisory Board. Council action is requested to approve the agreement with District 518.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
The next one is a Department of Transportation and grant agreement. Council at their February 10th, 2025 meeting approved a bid with Everstrong Construction to build a new 150 by 50 three-bay hangar at the Worthington Municipal Airport. This bid was accepted contingent on receiving FAA grants to provide any eligible funding. The Worthington Municipal Airport has since been awarded 3 FAA grants towards this hangar project. MnDOT, which pays 2.5% of the FAA grant, has now authorized a third companion grant to fund a portion of the associated cost of this airport improvement. The amount of this companion grant shall not exceed $6,863.89, or 2.5% of the FAA grant. For Council's information, the total local share of this $1.2 million hangar project will be $51 $1,025.21, which is 2.5% of the, or a little under 2.5% of the total project. Council action is requested to adopt the resolution shown in Exhibit 3, accepting the grant and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign any necessary agreements.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and seconded. Any further discussion?
I have one question there. We received these bids a year ago.
Yep.
Everstrong is still committed to.
Yep. Yep, they worked up last fall until frost. They wanted to try to get the footings poured, they didn't get it poured. I just talked to them last week, they brought in a bunch of equipment now, they're waiting for the footings to get dug, and they've got a bunch of the building's here. Yep, they're just waiting for the weather, well, actually waiting for their dirt contractor to get here and dig the footings, and they're gonna get started. Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The next one is the Glenwood Heights farmland lease. The city-owned land in the Glenwood Heights edition currently has 20 acres of agricultural land that we were just renting to a local farmer during our initial developmental stage. Staff has now decided that we should look at a longer-term option for leasing this agricultural land. Staff contacted area renters and advertised in the local newspaper requesting proposals for this property. Sealed proposals were opened at 11 a.m. on March 16th. The highest proposal was as follows: 4B Acres Incorporated, $6,300 per year. Included in your packet is a copy of the proposed lease as Exhibit 4. Staff is recommending awarding a 2-year lease commencing on April 15th, 2026 and ending on March 15th, 2028, with a mutual option to renew at that time. Council action is requested to approve the new Glenwood Heights agricultural land lease and have the mayor and city clerk sign any necessary agreement. We had 3 quotes for it. This was the highest.
Would that be open to this current bid, or is it gonna, are you opening it up to anybody after the 2 years?
Well, we're going to allow them, if either party has the option to cancel the lease.
Sure.
And it's written in there, I believe it was by January 8th, so we have time to release it. So if they want to get out of it, they let us know. If we think that land prices really went up and we're not getting a fair amount, we can cancel the lease and reissue.
Thank you.
So,
Motion and seconded.
Second. She had a question.
I just had a quick
Yes.
question. At the mutual option to renew, then you kind of evaluate what rent is going for, and if they want to renew and you want to renew with them because it worked really well, is there anything else you have to follow, or you just
No,
have to follow?
either party has to give notice.
Okay.
If for some reason we're not happy with how things are going with them, we have the option to get out of it 2 years, but then I don't have to come back and re-advertise it, reissue it if both parties are happy. We do the same thing with the airport and Highway 59 ag leases and stuff like that.
Okay.
It just works really well if we're happy with the renters and our renters are happy with the price that they get for, we've had some issues with past renters at the airport, so if we find somebody we really like, we may sacrifice a few dollars an acre, but we're happy with the performance.
Approximately how many separate leases do we have on ag land? Do you have a ballpark number?
Well, we have, I think 5 or 6. that
And
we-
each of them are set individually? There's no
Yeah.
standard that we try to adhere to? I mean,
The lease is standard language, but
Yes.
some are alfalfa, some are tillable.
Okay.
It really depends on.
Yeah, we have 2 separate ones at the airport, and I think the largest one is 363 acres that we have of farm ground, and then we have 40-some acres of hay ground, and we have a person that we're really happy with, and it's been great. We've had some past issues that we had to deal with the FAA, and it's just nice to find a good renter, and I think we got a good one here.
okay.
Good. So we do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried.
Okay, my second one is the Olson Trust property. The current rental lease for the 10 acres of Olson Trust agricultural land east of County Road 57 at the Highway 59 west, is set to expire February 28th, I don't know, I didn't do this right. But anyway, I didn't cut, but anyway, we are ready to lease a new 10-year, or a new 2-year lease for this 10 acres of ground. Staff contacted area renters and advertised in the local newspaper requesting proposals for this property. Once again, they were opened at 11 a.m. on March 16th, and the highest proposal was as follows. Tom Martin of $2,551 per year. Included in your packet is a copy of the proposed lease. Staff is recommending awarding a 2-year lease commencing on April 15th and ending on March 15th of 2028, with a mutual option to renew at the time. Council action is requested to approve the new Olson Trust agricultural land lease and have the mayor and city clerk sign the necessary paperwork. This is 10 acres across from where Keepers is building their apartments, between Shines and there, east of 57th, where the church bought that little piece of property. So that lease came up and we reissued it. This is the same terms.
I would move to approve with, like you work with maybe on fixing the dates and stuff.
Yes, the dates are right that I have in there, and Tom Martin was the person that got it. I just had a little piece that I didn't cut out, so.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
We'll do a better job of proofreading next time. Thank you.
All right, engineer.
Mayors, my first item is to award a contract for First Avenue Southwest Mill and Overlay project. Bid opening for the 2026 Mill and Overlay project, First Avenue Southwest from Krellsheim Road to Knollwood Drive, and Public Park parking lot improvement was scheduled for Thursday, March 19th, 2026 at 2:05 p.m. The bid result will be made public once the council awards the contract to the lowest responsible bidder. The only bid submitted by Dunning Inc. It was $752,904. The bid is approximately 4% lower than the engineer's estimate. Staff recommends that the council award a contract to the lowest responsible bidder.
How common is it to have only a single bidder?
For mill and overlay
Yeah.
project, it's usually, it's common that we only get Dunning. I have been reaching out to some contractors in Sioux Falls. Until it reaches around $1 million or a little over, they said it's kind of hard to come down here and make a move. But, I've been reaching out to Sioux Falls a couple hours and trying to advertise too over there, but it hasn't happened yet.
Does that include the Puppy Park area too as well?
Yes, correct.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Second item is to award the Tower Street, 10th Avenue and Ball Field parking lot. The bid opening for 2026 Tower Street, 10th Avenue and South Ball Field parking lot project was scheduled for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, 2:05 p.m. The bid result will be made public once the council award the contract to the lowest responsible bidder. The lowest bid submitted by Ideal Construction is $1,396,760. This bid is approximately 27% lower than the engineer's estimate. Staff recommends that the council award a contract to the lowest responsible bidder.
Move to approve. Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Last item is to discuss about Highway 5960 truck turnback project. The turnback project for US truck Highway 5960 is scheduled for construction in 2027 through 2028, with the 90% design anticipated to be completed in coming May. During early design discussions for North Humiston Avenue, the goal was to maintain as many through lanes as possible. However, due to the inclusion of a dedicated right turn lane at the intersection of Humiston Avenue and Oxford Street, a revised approach has been proposed, shown in Exhibit 1. This would involve merging southbound traffic from the westernmost lane into adjacent lane, allowing the westernmost lane to function exclusively as the right turn lane for the side streets, and including Oxford Street. Implementing a dedicated right turn lane would help prevent vehicles from becoming delayed at the intersection while attempting to merge into through traffic, as the westernmost lane would be designated for the right turn only at the intersection of Humiston Avenue and Oxford Street. Staff requests the council to make a motion on the proposed design.
So I'll show, this is the original design. And this is the southbound lane, the right-hand southbound lane coming up to, from the roundabout at Rhines Road and then at Ray Drive, and then carrying on to Oxford Street, where they show that it is a complete straight-through lane, and then converts to a right-hand turn lane at Oxford Street. This is what they presented today. Again, this is coming off the roundabout at Rhines Road. A painted line would come in to divert traffic, the through traffic onto the left, with then making this a dedicated right-hand turn. And then that same action as you come into Ray Drive, there would be a right-hand turn lane going into Ray Drive, and then coming out of Ray Drive and coming down south on Humiston, North Humiston Highway 59, and then making the right-hand lane at Oxford Street a right turn only, rather than a through lane. And this is MnDOT's request that arrived today or Friday or?
Actually today.
Today.
Mike, you have a question?
I guess I don't understand the right turn lane at Ray's Drive and going into Walgreens. I do at Oxford, but
That's the
why
way it
mess
is.
around throwing cars in different lanes if you're gonna paint it?
They're
Right.
still gonna use it for being straight through, I bet, it's just that.
Right now, it's essentially all that it's adding is that this piece, because right now there's a chunk to turn into Walgreens, and then you have, that's painted on there already, isn't it?
We were gonna have the dedicated right turn lane at Oxford anyway, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a right turn lane.
Well-
there.
Yeah.
Actually, there's enough room on the sides now to even park along that, you know, they've got the 2 lanes, plus they have like an 8-foot parking buffer.
So you're gonna paint the lines going back just north of Ray's Drive, or just north of, Ray Drive? You're gonna paint those lines and make them move over?
That's what MnDOT's proposing. So I believe currently what we have right now, we have 2 through lanes with third lane dedicated right turn lane into those side streets. But right now, we'll only have 1 through lane with right turn dedicated lane here and there. And their biggest concern is having 2 through lanes and then the very right lane vehicles wanting to merge into the through lane at the intersection of Humiston and Oxford. They'll be stuck, not turning right, but still wanting to go straight when that's only dedicated right turn lane, just like right now.
Our drivers are already getting used to that because that's exactly the way it is on Oxford Street.
I was just saying too, yeah.
And not every street coming off North Humiston is a dedicated right turn. There's a lane there, but it's not painted as a dedicated right.
And since they're not moving the curb line right now, what we can do is we can just go with 2 through lanes with no paint, and then we can just paint it later, since this is gonna be turned back to our road, and then see how vehicles behave over time, and Public Works can go out and paint wherever we need to force vehicles to merge into through lane.
Plus, I think you'll get a lot of traffic trying to race to get into that single lane
Mhm,
at every intersection, trying to beat the car that's coming.
mhm.
Yeah, this is kind of an exercise in wasting our time, because it will be, when it's turned back, we'll do whatever we want.
Oh, okay. Because it feels like kind of a waste where the blue is drawn coming
Yeah.
out of Ray Drive and going south.
Right, well, and like Chris pointed out, you come out of Ray Drive or Walgreens, and then you have to
You're in
shoot
the
across
traffic.
traffic to
Yeah.
get out of the right-hand lane.
It's usually backed up, kind of.
And I explained it to Minda, for people too, that
They're gonna do that anyway.
vehicles right now already merge into middle lane, even they know that they can go through on the right lane.
Mhm.
So it really isn't gonna change that much with, or without that paint lines.
Right.
You know, that road moving forward, going past Burger King, you know, people are always in those, the right two lanes, and a lot of them will circle
Right.
forward too. Are they shortening that up, so there's like one wide lane there, or is it?
So if you slide that a little bit towards the south end, we're keeping that 18 feet on the receiving end of south part of the intersection. So when,
At Burger King?
yep, at Burger King, so you can see that left end of the through lane lines up with that median, but so you have more a space on the right side, so if people wants to turn right, they'll merge a little bit towards the right, so through traffic can
You
keep
know,
going
at different
straight.
times, people are gonna be in the right turn lane to go
Mhm.
west on, they'll cut across, so
There'll be
you're,
only one.
you're waiting, you know.
There'll be one receiving technically, but
Off the-
enough for turning lanes.
I was gonna get
Unofficially.
rid of that.
Yeah,
So this is just something we have to do, but it kind of is moot because,
They just wanted to know if council wants to paint it right away with the construction or just leave it off as two through lane and then just right turn lane at the end.
I would say no change from what our current plan is.
We need
You need
a
a
motion
motion?
on that, no change?
Technically, it's not really an official thing, so I'll just pass the word along.
is that what staff recommends?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Stu.
Yeah, thank you.
thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Council. My first item is a first reading of an ordinance to vacate part of a platted utility easement. The owner of lots 1 and 2, block 1, 6 Fairway View Edition, have submitted a petition to vacate 5 feet on either side of a platted easement between those lots. These lots located across from the middle school are currently vacant, and the owner intends to construct homes on these lots and would like the additional 5 feet to maximize the building area. And you can see that easement area in Exhibit 1A. This easement's a platted drainage, utility, and access easement between lots 1 and 2. That's a total of 30 feet wide, so you have 15 feet on each side of the property line. The primary purpose is to allow for the installation of a catch basin on the private frontage road that will run into the pond on the outlot behind these two empty lots. The catch basin, storm pipe, and road will remain privately owned. Vacating 5 feet on either side will leave a total easement width of 20 feet, which staff believes is sufficient for the intended purpose. The Water and Light Commission considered the request at their February 17th meeting and moved to recommend that council approve of the vacation. Staff recommends that council approve a first reading of the ordinance in Exhibit 1B to vacate 5 feet on both sides of this easement.
Does vacation of this easement, cause any issue or potential issues with, our residential easement building, easements? Like for planning commission to have to go through then the.
No, this one, 15 feet on either side is unusually large. And the primary purpose really was to allow adequate area for that storm pipe. In this case, it's gonna be relatively shallow, so you won't need a lot of digging room should you ever need to dig it up to replace it. So between all the staff involved, we think 20 feet will be sufficient for future maintenance of that. Most residential easements are usually about 10 foot along property lines, so to have 15 foot on each side, especially on these smaller lots, you know, they really wanted that 5 foot back for more house there.
Move first reading.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All right, second item, this is approval of a joint resolution annexing parcel 20-0171-000 and portions of County State Aid Highway 25. In 2025, City Council agreed to a turnback of 2 stretches of County Road 25 between Highway 5960 and Flower Lane, so that's from Casey's going north up to where it tees off. And then from that intersection over to Highway 5960, basically East Gateway Drive. So you have a north-south and then an east-west section there. In order to proceed with the turnback, the portions of roadway not in the city must be annexed. Along with this portion of road, staff's proposing to annex that parcel I mentioned so as not to leave an island of county land surrounded by the city. That parcel is currently pasture, hobby farm ground. I believe they planted a little bit of corn there this last year, with the owner's house located on an adjacent parcel that's currently in the city. And affected property owners have been notified of this. There's 2 here, I've talked to both of them. Neither one raised any issues. The areas proposed for annexation can be seen in Exhibit 2A. The city and Worthington Township still have an active orderly annexation agreement. As such, in order to annex this land, that agreement must be amended to include the proposed annexation area and then approve of the immediate annexation. The resolution must be a joint resolution between the city and township and is shown in Exhibit 2B. And Worthington Township has already approved of this. Council is asked to approve the joint resolution in Exhibit 2B.
Mike?
I'm in favor of this. My concern is along that whole area, is there, are we going in and out, like on this one here, why doesn't that just follow 60? 59, 60?
Yeah.
Why does that go up?
So it's a little goofy here at the intersections. We essentially are annexing enough to comply with the state aid mileage requirements. So in order to transfer the state aid mileage and actually receive state aid money, it had to include the whole intersection. It's not the prettiest annexation you've ever seen. And the next time we come around to this area, we'll fill it out nicely. In this case, we're pretty much just doing enough to cover the intersections to satisfy the state aid people.
Okay. So, and then on this one is 26441, is that in the city limits or not?
Yes, it is right now.
Okay. Have you seen that barn out there?
Yes.
Is that kind of a
We will look into it.
problem? You know, I mean, kids could get in there, something could happen.
Yeah, I would have to look at it more before I really speak to the condition of that.
Well, you can darn near see
Meeting.
through it.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
I would just add on that Matt has been working closely with our city attorney on identifying the means and procedures to be able to take enforcement effort against buildings that
Good
are
work.
dangerous conditions. You have a couple in the notes right
There's
now.
some other properties in town here too.
But we're getting good guidance from our city attorney on proper legal steps that give us the authority.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, on to committee reports. I was able to spend about an hour. They had a exhibit opening at the Historical Society next door for the second home for immigrants. It was kind of cool stuff anyway. I didn't get to stay too much. I had to celebrate my father-in-law's 93rd birthday yesterday. So very nice. Also do have a legislative day at the Capitol here on Wednesday and also a meeting on Thursday up at the Greater Minnesota Cities. So be up there for a couple of days. That's all I got.
Congratulations to the Lady J basketball team for winning national championship this year down in Texas. I was able to travel with them, enjoyed the whole time.
No report.
I had the YMCA board meeting this afternoon, and the gala fundraiser is the highest return that they've had in several years, since 2023. There was over 200 people in attendance, so There'll be some HVAC costs that the city might see coming for their portion, where they have to reduce some of those things. Yeah, and then they're also gonna put booklets, usually they go through community ed for summer rec things, but they're not getting the traction through that as much, so they're looking to put booklets in the schools and surrounding schools, and maybe at JBS Fieldhouse, trying to get the summer rec participation, information out sooner. Parents say they don't know what's happening, so, yeah, that's all.
Mike?
Good.
Chris?
I have no report. I do have a question for Todd. Saw some activity at the movie theater site this week. What's happening there?
We had a furnace that quit, and so we had some sprinkler pipes that froze, and we had some flooding, but we had good help from a company out of Sioux Falls to come and help us clean it up, and they put big dehumidifiers in. And I'm happy to say that I believe we're going to pull all that out tomorrow. If we can get the electrician there to fix a couple plug-ins, should be back in operating again in that one theater. We've been operating 4 theaters right now. We should be able to operate all 5 starting, I believe, Thursday. So,
Fixed our furnace problem?
it was one of the heating units on the top blew full of snow with that really strong wind that we had, and shut it down and froze it up.
Okay.
But we should be back operating, hopefully by Thursday, in all 5 theaters, so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al. Steve?
I have a request for quotes. We're gonna go out next Wednesday on April 1st for re-roofing this building, so put together a request for quote document with specifications. We'll have a deadline of April 22nd, wasn't it?
Yep.
To receive them, and then we'll come to council the following Monday, April 27th, to consider bids. Hopefully it comes in close to 150,000. I'll cut you over that. So we'll see what we get in, but this roof is shot. We had leakage one Friday night, Saturday morning, here 2 weeks ago. So I was hoping to hold off on it, but I think I did put 50,000 in the CIP for 26, hoping to stretch it out over 3 fiscal years, but I don't think that's going to be wise. Our staff that sits upstairs would prefer that we do have a roof up there.
Do we have any other buildings that need roof repairs? Do they?
I'm sorry?
Like, is it a deal, like if you had something at the Cal or something at the event center?
We did the Cal 2 or 3 years ago. You got the Public Works building?
Yeah, we have some funding for the Public Works building, but we were gonna stretch it out for a couple of years, so. It's the flat part of the roof of the Public Works of our office area, but we just have a couple areas that we've kind of taken care of temporarily for now, but at some point we'll have to take care of it.
But we have a moratorium. The Cal is in good shape now. The BAC building.
I think that, the theater's new, and
The
that's
movie theater
a metal roof.
should be doing up, but
Event center, I don't know what that is. That's been there for a while.
yeah.
That's just a heating and cooling unit,
And
probably.
I've been on most of those roofs in the last year. So. But we knew this one was bad. I was just keeping my fingers crossed that we could sneak by for a couple of years. No.
Did you do your state of the city event
Oh,
thing?
State of the region.
Did that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd they go?
They had a good turnout.
Very good.
So they were, I know the chamber was very pleased with the turnout.
Good.
nice job.
And I spoke shortly.
But said a lot.
Your presentation looked really good.
Well,
Well done.
Christina put that together.
Thank you.
Good. Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thanks, everyone.